A small Florida city recently came together to mourn the loss of a beloved sheriff's deputy whose life was tragically cut short. Sergeant Elio Diaz, a devoted officer and father, was remembered for his commitment to helping others. This heartbreaking case sheds light on his dedication and the shocking events that led to his untimely death. Sergeant Elio Diaz served in Charlotte County, Florida, in a quiet area north of Fort Myers. Known for his compassion and professionalism, Diaz encountered a situation that tragically turned fatal while on duty. On a quiet Sunday, Diaz pulled over a white pickup truck during a routine traffic stop. After running the vehicle's license plate, he discovered the registration was suspended due to a lack of insurance. What could have been a straightforward procedure took a different turn when Diaz realized the driver, Andrew Monon, was homeless and living out of the truck. Rather than immediately enforcing the law, Diaz spent over an hour trying to assist Monon. He worked to contact the insurance company, hoping to resolve the issue so the truck, essentially Monon's home, wouldn't have to be towed along with all his belongings. This act of kindness reflected Diaz's character as he sought to help rather than penalize. Tragically, the situation took a devastating turn. After spending considerable time aiding the man, Diaz approached Monon again. At that moment, Monon reached into the truck, retrieved a rifle, and opened fire. Diaz was struck and fell to the ground. The attack didn't stop there. Monon continued firing, fatally wounding him. This senseless act shocked the community, leaving a void where a compassionate and selfless officer once stood. Sergeant Elio Diaz's dedication to helping others will not be forgotten, and his memory continues to inspire those who knew him. The aftermath of this tragedy left a community reeling. Sergeant Elio Diaz wasn't just a law enforcement officer. He was a father, a friend, and a beacon of hope to those he served. His colleagues described him as someone who went above and beyond his duty, always striving to make a difference in people's lives. Following the incident, law enforcement officers swiftly apprehended Andrew Monon, who now faces charges for the brutal killing of a deputy who showed him nothing but compassion. The sheriff's department and the community rallied together, holding vigils and ceremonies to honor Diaz's life and legacy. Sheriff Bill Prummel, visibly emotional, spoke about the kind of person Diaz was, a man who treated everyone with dignity and respect, even in the most challenging circumstances. Elio didn't have to help Monon that day, the sheriff said, but he chose to because that's who he was. He believed in second chances and helping people get back on their feet. The funeral procession was a solemn reminder of the risks law enforcement officers face every day. The streets were lined with people holding flags and signs, paying their respects to a hero who gave his life in service to his community. Diaz's story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. It serves as a reminder of the humanity behind the badge, a reflection of the sacrifices made by officers who work tirelessly to protect and serve. His legacy will live on in the hearts of his family, colleagues, and the many lives he touched with his kindness and dedication. Though his life was tragically cut short, Sergeant Elio Diaz's action continued to resonate as a testament to the power of empathy, courage, and service. The impact of Sergeant Elio Diaz's death rippled far beyond his immediate family and colleagues. His selflessness and commitment to his community made him a local hero long before the tragic events unfolded. Those who knew him spoke not only of his dedication to his job, but of his compassion for the vulnerable, his infectious positivity, and his unwavering belief in helping others, even those society often overlooks. Charlotte County Sheriff's Office honored Diaz as an exemplary officer who embodied the values of integrity, service, and sacrifice. Fellow deputies shared emotional tributes, recalling moments when Diaz went out of his way to assist those in need, whether it was helping a stranded motorist, mentoring a struggling youth, or showing kindness to those who had lost their way. During the memorial service, Diaz's family, friends, and colleagues came together to celebrate his life. His daughter tearfully shared how her father's courage and dedication had inspired her and countless others. She described him as not just a hero, but as a man who truly believed in making the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. One of the most poignant moments of the ceremony was the symbolic last call, a tradition where dispatchers make one final radio call to an officer who has fallen in the line of duty. The silence that followed echoed the deep sense of loss felt by everyone present. As the investigation into the incident continued, the Sheriff's Department vowed to ensure justice for Diaz. Sheriff Prummel stated, "We will never forget Elio's sacrifice. He represented the best of us, and we will carry his memory forward in everything we do." Community members also rallied to support Diaz's family, organizing fundraisers and vigils in his honor. The outpouring of love and respect highlighted how much of an impact Diaz had on those around him. Strangers who had been helped by Diaz during his service shared their stories, painting a picture of a man who was not just an officer, but a true friend to his community. The tragedy of Sergeant Elio Diaz's death serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers faced by law enforcement officers and as a testament to the power of compassion daily. It also underscores the importance of empathy and humanity in their work, values Diaz upheld until his final moments. As the community continues to grieve, they also remember. The legacy of Sergeant Elio Diaz lives on, the value of service and the enduring spirit of a man who gave his all to make the world a better place. In the days following Sergeant Elio Diaz's tragic death, the entire community of Charlotte County came together in mourning and reflection. Vigils were held across the region, where candles flickered in the evening light as people shared stories of how Diaz had touched their lives. His actions, particularly on that fateful day, were seen as a powerful symbol of his unwavering belief in second chances and helping those in need. At the heart of these gatherings was a profound sense of loss, not just for a deputy, but for a man who embodied what it means to truly care. Local leaders, faith groups, and organizations joined in honoring Diaz, often remarking on how his empathy set him apart. "He wasn't just enforcing the law," one speaker said at a vigil. "He was showing us what humanity should look like." National attention also turned toward Diaz's story, with tributes pouring in from across the country. Law enforcement agencies, advocacy groups, and citizens reached out to offer condolences and share their appreciation for his sacrifice. Stories of officers like Diaz often go untold, but this time, his efforts and his character became a beacon for those advocating for change and compassion within the system. In addition to the memorials, local and state officials began discussions about initiatives to honor Diaz's memory in lasting ways. Proposals included naming a stretch of highway or a public park after him, ensuring that his legacy would remain a part of the community he served so diligently. The sheriff's office also announced plans to start a scholarship fund in his name to support young people pursuing careers in law enforcement or community service. Diaz's death also sparked broader conversations about the challenges officers face when dealing with mental health issues, homelessness, and systemic struggles in their communities. Advocates used the tragedy to highlight the need for better resources for law enforcement to address such cases compassionately while ensuring officer safety. Meanwhile, his colleagues faced the heartbreaking task of returning to duty without their friend and mentor. Many described the void Diaz's absence left in the department, not just as a skilled officer, but as someone who could always lighten the mood or offer a helping hand. One deputy shared, "Elio wasn't just a co-worker, he was family. He brought heart into everything he did, and that's rare." Diaz's family, though shattered by the loss, expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support. They spoke openly about the kind of person he was, a man of integrity, a loving father, and someone who lived by a code of compassion. His children vowed to carry on his legacy by living with the same kindness and strength he demonstrated every day. As the case against Andrew Monon progresses, the community remains steadfast in its resolve to seek justice for Diaz. However, their focus has also shifted towards celebrating his life rather than dwelling solely on his tragic death. To many, he is a reminder of what true service looks like, putting others first, even in the face of great personal risk. In the end, the story of Sergeant Elio Diaz is one of profound loss but also of inspiration. He showed that even in the most challenging situations, there is room for understanding, kindness, and hope. Though he is gone, his spirit lives on in the countless lives he touched and the legacy of compassion he left behind. In the wake of Sergeant Elio Diaz's death, the community of Charlotte County struggled to find closure, but their determination to honor his memory only grew stronger. Organizations across the county, from schools to local businesses, began hosting events and initiatives to celebrate his life and contributions.